We are back at the scene of the crime. Hi everybody, welcome to another episode. Today is a very, very special day for us because we are back at the scene of the crime.
This is where we first met and fell in love. Yay! Beautiful Friday Harbor in San Juan Island.
Yep, almost exactly 5 years ago, I came here for the first time, met Aaron, and told him that he was stuck with me for life, basically. So we are back for a nice little visit, and we're gonna take you around to all of our favorite spots. So right now we're at Lime Kiln, which is the lighthouse over on the west side of the island. A lot of times you can see whales from this location as well. Today they don't seem to be here, but maybe we'll get lucky.
We used to come down here all the time just to watch the sunset. Like Hayden said, you could see the whales, but also there's some really nice hikes that kind of get you into secluded areas.
Yeah. He took me here once for a nice little sunset picnic, and I asked him if he was coming here to murder me by throwing me off of the cliff. So. But ever since, we've been stuck for life together. Love you.
Love you. So I'm standing next to a madrona tree, which is one of the coolest things that this island has. If you'll notice, you'll see that there's different colored layers to the bark. So right now the outer layer is orange, inside it gets green, beneath that is yellow, and all these trees have just multiple levels of color on them.
So inside the lighthouse is the whale museum, and we spoke with one of the naturalists who we knew here when we used to live on the island, and she said that the residents here, the southern resident whales, have only come through twice this year. So the population of whales is not doing well. The resident whales rely on salmon in order to survive, and basically they're starving, so they don't have enough food. Many of them are going missing, and the transient whales, though, who travel through the area but don't live here full time, they actually eat other marine mammals, so they are not starving. But it's super sad to hear that the resident whales here are not doing well. So our next stop is at the Pelindaba Lavender Farm, and everything smells so good. Everything's in bloom, and there are just bees everywhere, which we love. We've just been standing here staring at the bees for like 20 minutes.
We are at Mike's Cafe and Wine Bar, San Juan Island's only all-vegan restaurant. And we've been coming here for years when we used to live on the island. It's great that he's still around. He's expanded many times since we left the island. And so we're here for lunch. We are here with Mike, the owner of Mike's Cafe and Wine Bar.
Hello, hello. Welcome.
Thanks. We love it.
It's been a while. I've known you guys for 5 years. I'm glad you got back to see us in full regalia
I
in
know.
the summer.
You're all expanded. You're at your max.
Yeah, waterfalls running.
Wow. It's exciting.
Yeah.
And we're here with Sadie and Patty.
Hey guys.
Hi. Our friends. We saw them in Colorado and in Florida.
And Tennessee. And Tennessee.
And Tennessee.
Yes.
If you're familiar with our older vlogs, you've seen them before.
Every time I have a Philly cheesesteak, Mike always comments on the post about how his is better, his is great, and so I took him up on the offer, and I've got the Philly cheesesteak. I'm gonna see if it lives up to the amount of hype that he's been giving it over the years. All right, Mike, I'll give it to you. That's a pretty damn good Philly cheesesteak.
So I went with the salad, and I ended up with the Southwest salad, which has vegan chicken on top of it. And the dressing's actually kind of spicy, so it has a nice little kick to it. But it's perfect for this like nice hot day. I didn't want something too heavy, and I was craving some greens, so it's delicious.
Yeah, we drank a lot on that deck.
Yeah.
There's our old house.
It looks so much better when you
So the next stop on our magical mystery tour of the San Juan Islands is Jakles Lagoon. And this is one of our very favorite places that we used to come. We used to come in here and go hiking all the time. So it's a little nostalgic. There are the coolest slugs. It's like a rainforest. So the terrain changes so drastically. It's wild. It's like it goes from prairie land into this rainforest with like moss and stuff. It's really neat.
Fern Gully.
We call it Fern Gully.
There used to be this little side trail that I used to just basically come out and sit and meditate because everything is so green and so quiet. It's just mesmerizing.
After a short little walk through the rainforest, you come up to this beach. It's absolutely beautiful, and there's huge driftwood logs all over it. It's one of the most unique places definitely in the US, and hands down one of the most beautiful. If it's winter time, it's a little bit more green. Things are a little bit more mossy, and I think that's when all the slugs come out. So unfortunately it's dry. There aren't any slugs, which is my favorite part about this place, but can't beat this view.
We've made it out here to Jakles Lagoon, which when you see all the driftwood, it's really incredible because you know that all of this has to fill up with water, deposit all of it here, and then it rushes back out with the tide and leaves everything behind. And it leaves a little lagoon filled with driftwood. Well, I'm hot and sweaty.
It's been a hike, huh?
Yeah. I forgot that this is actually a hike, not just a lolly-la stroll through the park.
So right across the way from Jakles Lagoon is South Beach, where you can find tons of huge driftwood. And it's really pretty.
I love this place because we used to come down here and have bonfires at night, and it would get really, really cold, so everyone would huddle around the bonfire. You've got the water crashing in, having a ton of beers, cooking out. Good times, good memories.
People have made all these little huts, and some of them are kind of impressive. Like, I would live in there. Our trailer might be just about as effective as that is. So we just pulled up to where Patty and Sadie live in the cutest little Airstream. We love their little house. They're little RVers, but they stay stationary full time.
We are at Friday's Crab House, which is where Hayden and I actually had our first date. Shortly after she moved up here on the island and started her job, I came down here to have a pitcher of beer, and I called her up and said, hey, why don't you come share this with me? And we haven't stopped drinking beers yet.
How many drinks did you have?
Only one. So we realized we never explained why we met or how we met here on this random remote island in the middle of Washington, basically Canada. But we both worked for Sea Shepherd Conservation Society. So Aaron ended up being previously married. His wife worked for Sea Shepherd as well. They got a divorce. She left the island. Her job opened up. I took it. Took her job, took her man. And that's how Aaron and I met. Right here.
Yep.
At Friday's Crab House. Actually, no, at the office.
Yeah, I was gonna say we didn't meet there. That was
No.
just our first date. Sweet first date, huh?
So now we're going back to Mike's to eat dinner because there's really no other place to eat. It's the only place you should be eating. It's all vegan and delicious. So we're gonna go eat some pizza. To work here when we lived here on the island, and every time after my shift we would get our shift meal and I would get the barbecue chicken pizza and I'd carry it home in a little tray and it was always my favorite, so I felt like for our last meal here I had to try it again, and it looks delicious. That's good.
So we decided to go ahead and get dessert, and we got the chocolate pie and the apple cinnamon cheesecake, which I'm probably most excited for. Not as strong as I expected it to be though, but all those flavors are there. That's good. Can't close it out yet. We're going to the hurl.
Okay, Mike's was absolutely fantastic. We ate more food than we should have.
We closed it down.
We did. They're kicking us out. And we still have another hour until we have to get onto the ferry. So we have one more stop, which we're really...
It's the second stop on our very first date.
On our very first date, he took me to the hurl, which is really called the China Pearl, but everybody calls it the hurl if you're in the know. It's a sketchy little bar, and it's going to be just as sketchy, I assume.
We're gonna go in, have a beer, and probably get out.
It's also the first time Aaron told me he loved me was at the hurl. I was like, really? This is the place you choose? In this sketchy ass
Real
little...
romantic.
Very romantic. So we have one more stop on this nostalgia tour, and then it's gonna be 10 o'clock, and we're on the ferry, and back home pretty late. So we're ready for bed. It's been a long day.
It's bedtime. Like, this is when we go to bed.
Yeah, I know. Okay, we'll take you to the hurl, and then we're out. Bye. It's bedtime.
It's bedtime.
It's a long day.
A, we don't stay up this late in general. B, we only got 4 hours of sleep before coming to the island in the first place.
Yeah.
But we caught the last ferry. We hung out at the hurl. We're on our way home.
We had a great day.
Had a great day.
Had a great day.
Now we have a 2-hour ferry ride.
It's stopping at every single island on the way back to Anacortes. So if you're coming to Friday Harbor, we hope you enjoy all of our favorite spots. We highly recommend them. Maybe you'll find true love here like we did.
But if not, you'll at least find a lot of beauty and a lot of magnificent things to do and places to check out.
It's beautiful, so come up here to the islands. We'll see you next time.
And say hi to Mike if you come.